Hi, Tina. Working on t-shirts all day today, Tina.
I was going to have Anna do the basket.
Are you going to have her do the basket?
I don't know. Maybe I'll just give her a treat.
Just give her a treat. Hi, Patrice. How is Gussie? Is she craving pickles? Oh, they can't see her though.
Well, oh, they can see her if her head's out a little bit. I think so.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, over here. Over here. Over here. There you go. Good job. No, Bailey's. Good boy.
What's for dinner?
Caesar's dog food.
Yeah. Hi, Carlene.
There we go. There you
Okay,
are, sweet
so
thing. All right. No more.
the latest from Carlene is what I posted. She called. She said that the flight was supposed to arrive at Logan from Manchester about 5:30, and thankfully they could go to Terminal E versus going to South Boston, which would have added an hour to their trip. So they can go to Terminal E to have the papers signed off on. So if that's 5:30 to 6:30, Boston traffic probably not till 7:30, I would assume,
Yeah.
would be the closest.
Yeah. 5:30, at least an hour for pickup, regardless.
Yeah.
And then 6, yeah. I'd say, I don't know, 8 by 8.
Yeah, and so we'll keep the camera facing the door?
Yes. I'll leave the camera, I'll lift it up. I'm trying to zoom out. I think it's zoomed out as much as it goes, so I'll just raise it a little so it's on the door exactly when they walk in. I'm not even looking
Blue
at
Penguin asked when Carlene called, did she sound okay? She actually sounded quite pleasant and was in a pretty good mood. What happened to Chester?
We don't know what happened to Chester. There's something happened on the deck. Carlene thinks that it got caught on a nail, which I couldn't find a nail. I think maybe Whit was snapping at flies and accidentally caught him because they weren't fighting. It wasn't a fight. There was something after, and I'm not sure, but all the 3 dogs were snapping on the deck, just snapping uncontrollable at the flies. So I thought that maybe, and then someone sent in a suggestion. They said that 2 of their dogs were laying on the ground. One of their dogs had the paw on the skin of the other dog. The dog jumped up, the paw slid down, cut the same exact similar pattern.
Oh.
So, and it had the same exact scenario with the skin ripping. And so I said, well, anything is possible since I don't know what happened. So that happened last Monday, and we've been rinsing it and cleaning it, and he's been licking it, and he pulled the skin flap off it. I don't even know. I came out Tuesday, I came out Friday morning, and I think it was gone. Whenever I emailed Carlene, so I think it was Friday or Saturday morning. So.
Can you show us some of the signs you use with Chester and Whit?
Well, they don't really know a lot of signs. I mean, they know no, they know come here, they know down. If they were like, they don't do down very well, but if I pat down like that, like, on the sofa and stuff, they know that they're supposed to lay down. What else do I do with them? They know when I'm angry. If I do this, they all three of them stay away. They really just watch my face a lot and watch my expressions. But it's mostly just normal hand stuff that we do every day, really. Plus, we have such a routine, that they know when we're leaving. The car gets backed up. They know what.
Tell them how you have to load the car.
Oh, Chester has to always be loaded first because he doesn't like to go into the car before after Whit. So I have to load Chester first, and then Whit, and then Martha. Every time. If it's done any differently, it'll take us an hour, and I have to start over. So, and it's always interesting, like at home, when the kids are playing in the dead end, like today, and the backyard dog is barking and running. There's all this stimulus. Yeah. And even though the boys can't hear, they see the boys playing outside in the yard. Chester can sense the dog over the back fence. When he knows that dog is out there, he runs out of the house like his pants are on fire. And he bark. I mean, and then I hear their dog. So, like today was I back my car in all the way to my gate so that when we go out, they can't see the boys playing. And it's very methodical. Everything's very methodical. But he won't get in. And he didn't want to get out of the car when we got home. For 45 minutes it took me to get him out of the car. Yeah.
Hi, handsome. Hello.
And I think it was because he just didn't want to. Didn't want to deal with Whit and Martha. I mean, they were in the car, so it didn't occur to me that we were going to have a problem until Then it was 45 minutes getting him out of the car. Then I got him in the house, and he had the towel wrapped around it in the car. When we got home, it came off. And he was on the futon, and he was bellowing at Whit and I. He did not want Whit anywhere near him. He freaked me out. So I moved Emma out of her room, and she went to the back of the house. And then I opened up the gate and let Chester have another section of the house. So Chester had that section, and then sometimes he chose to come back into the den anyway, and then Whit went in there. So it just gave them more room.
Yeah.
And he did better after that. So
he needed his space.
Yeah, he was didn't want to be messed with. So.
He's a handsome guy.
He's a good boy.
Zeke. So he's been in the nut house all day. Seems to be doing better, and does not have to be brought into the house tonight. So he's doing better.
Yeah. I missed the whole Zeke thing, so.
Poor Zeke. Yes, Chester does have a boo-boo. How old is Chester?
They were born in November, so he's a year and a half. Is that about right? A year and, is that 18, 20 months old?
And are they both deaf?
Yes, they're both deaf.
And how's their vision?
Whit has wonky sight in his left eye, and I think Chester's has a hard time with seeing stuff coming at them. So we just, hands like this. Yeah. I try not to reach over, yeah. But I do sometimes. But Whit's left eye has been wonky forever, but he can catch a fly. And Chester's side, I really think that's what happened. But I don't know. They still seem to do okay.
So I don't know if you guys saw Opal on the camera today, but I swear that she has a little bit of a bump. Just me saying. I'm no authority on anything, but I was like, ooh.
Oh, good.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Seemed like it.
Mm-hmm.
I asked her if she wanted any pickles.
Yeah.
She said no.
Yeah. She was funny that my last night here, I had her in, and I wanted to put her out to go to the bathroom, but I had Chester, and Mariah was outside in the nut house, and I didn't want to let Opal out near Mariah.
Right. Yep.
And so I put her out back. I said, well, if she's got to go to the bathroom, she can go out back. And then when I went to get her, she wouldn't come when I called her. And then I waited about 30 minutes. I figured, maybe something's, I don't know. You know, I said 30 minutes, I went back and I called her, and she still didn't want to come out.
She loves it back there.
Yeah, I mean, it's really the best place on the property.
It's nice and cool.
It's cool, it's quiet,
Yeah.
There's plenty of space.
Nice
So,
fluffies, mattress.
nobody bothers them, they clean, it's like their hotel room,
Yeah.
you know?
And Bentley is back there. He did not go to Logan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Who knows?
Oh, we don't know. Did Bailey try her Canadian bacon dog treats? I don't know.
Canadian bacon dog chews. Let's see. We have some right here. Bailey, you want to try a Canadian bacon dog chew? Would you like to? I bet you do. Oh my. Look how big these things are. Here. Ooh. Here you go.
Do Chester and Wood's bark sound any different from those of a hearing dog?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. And all that chattering, all the dogs do all that chattering even when they're older. Like that. Rah, 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 with the mouthing, they all do that. And they do it a lot at home. Maybe it's louder, but I don't think the tone is much different. I mean, I think it used to sound a little bit higher pitched, but
I think Viv was louder. Viv and Bing.
yeah, they're louder, but
Yeah.
but they don't have any gauge. But
Yeah,
as far as
yeah.
their bark, I mean, I can tell Whit's bark and I can tell Martha's bark. I could tell Chester's bark. He doesn't bark much here, but if I'm in here and I hear them barking at the barn, we all can tell our dogs.
Yeah.
And but they don't sound any different than the other dogs. They just my dogs.
That is something, each one of you, if a dog is barking, I just hear a barking dog. Each one of you will go, oh, that's Wit. Oh, that's Chaos. Oh, that's Walter. Oh, it's like,
Yeah.
wow. And
Wow.
Devin,
Yeah.
she knows every bark.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Devin is a super little human being.
Yeah.
Yeah, she runs circles. Well, you hear it all the time. Chaos, I'm sure you would know Chaos.
I know Chaos is now. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of whose bark is. And Noelle has the bark that has the kind of a soft sound to it. It sounds like a struggle bark. So she has that bark, and so don't her puppies. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Let's see.
Well, I don't know who she has.
No, well, it's Murphy has that. Murphy
Magnus.
has that bark. Magnus has that
He's
bark.
looking for those treats.
And Mariah has that bark. It's from the newer batch. There's one of them or two of them, I think, that have the same bark. But all three, Magnus, Murphy, and Mariah, have the bark it's a weird, it sounds like a strain type of a bark. I can't give you this whole bag, buddy.
Can you keep them all in the training room so they can be together?
Mine?
Yes.
When? I used to try to sleep with them in the training room when I would nap. I would get almost no sleep, and I would spend an hour or more every day cleaning up after them. And I was so frustrated by the end of my day that I said, it's not fair to them, it's not fair to me. Not to mention that when I was trying to sleep during the day and they were in the training room, this was months ago though, like a while ago. they'd piddle in there or they'd poo in there, and then we would go home and they would think it was okay to pee and poo in the house at home. And so I said, we cannot do this. So that's why they stay in the kennel. But I might try them. I was thinking I might try them tomorrow out in the training room. If I worked days and I slept overnights, I could sleep with them all in the training room.
Right.
But during the day, it's not. It's just they want to be outside, so, or active playing. So it really was really becoming a problem because I didn't want them kenneled all the time, you know.
Yeah.
And so now I just make sure I go down. I try to go down twice a day and take them out in the morning after they're fed, and then I try to get them out after afternoon feeding. So
I don't know if Paul is watching, but Timothy and Sarge were in the pond today, having a blast. Just like swimming away, just running. They were having a great time.
yeah.
So if you're listening, Paul, I mean, they
Yeah.
seem to be liking their vacation. And
Yeah, I know. It's a vacation. Yeah, the pond is fun, and I mean, with the aerator thing on there, it's where we are is all clear. So, I mean, any algae and whatnot. I mean, I had Chester in there, and he already had a little rash that he would get in his legs, and so I would just put a little antifungal cream on it, like athlete's foot cream or whatever, and it goes away in a day or two.
Yeah.
So I was never really worried. I mean, it's his thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but he hasn't had any issues with the pond. None of them
No.
have. Yeah.
Today they rotated 2 dogs each continuously, each one swimming. Clark,
Yeah.
he was like a fish.
Oh, did you see the first day that Megan put Clark and Ava in there, and Clark came running up to the fence, and he was black. He was covered. I said, "What?" And he was just smeared with the muck, and he looked so cute. But he must have gone all the way around.
Yeah.
See, because she has the pond so that there's a fence all the way around, but it's tilted, so it doesn't injure anybody. But the dogs don't necessarily run. But we have an opening down in the cleaner end. But if the dogs go along the fence, then they get into the muck.
Oh.
So right directly in front of us is nice and clean. But Clark was covered. He was black. But then I brought towels down in case we needed to wash them off. I went to the barn, did a couple things. By the time I came back, someone had cleaned them, or it had dried off, or he went in and got
he
the
loves
clean
it down
water.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he and Ava today were just frolicking and having a phenomenal time.
Yeah, Ava's high energy.
Yeah, she did. She's
She's high energy. Yeah. Come here.
You want to come on the camera?
Probably wants to lay down.
Shout
with
out
Bailey.
from Long Island for Pam. We love you. Mariah
Come here, buddy.
is here.
No.
Tanner and his family are on vacation. Pam, are you on night duty tonight?
Yes, tonight and tomorrow, and then next week I'm going to do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the week after Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then in September we're changing it up.
Because Maggie's stopping. And
Maggie
Aaron,
is stopping Sundays and Thursdays, and Aaron is stopping Saturdays. So we're filling in the gaps. So ultimately, I will probably end up doing Sunday, Monday, Tuesdays, like I was before. Grace will will do Wednesdays and Thursdays. Aaron will keep Fridays, and we will find somebody for Saturday. That's the hope. In the worst case scenario, and only saying that because 4 nights is a long time, I would do Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. But I did 4 nights. I've done 4 nights before. We'll see. or we'll break it up. But for now, that's the thought. And then I'm just going to be looking for somebody that, Carlene, because Carlene wants, with all the puppies coming,
Right.
she would like to find somebody that's been on overnights for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know how lucky that, I mean,
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's the plan.
It'll be interesting to see how Opal is with puppies and if she lets people near her puppies.
I know.
Because she's very friendly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you never know. I mean, I never assume just because a dog likes me that they're gonna
you are
be
too
okay.
handsome.
He is a pretty boy. Hey, no, that is not you. No, we don't play over there. No.
So, Jody knows Wanda's bark. Oh, Susan. Yeah, we all know Carlene's bark.
Oh, no.
Yes. Yes. So I do have a small Wanda story
Oh.
that I will share. So she was home today. She was here today, actually, and running around. And then she went home with Janine. And she got out of Janine's house and wandered off. And a neighbor found her. And the neighbor brought her to Best Friends. And Best Friends, Janine had to go to Best Friends and pick up Wanda, but she needed paperwork to verify that Wanda was hers. So as of right this moment, Janine was going to pick up Wanda. So hopefully she's home safe with Janine. But Wanda is...
Continuing to Wanda.
She...
I mean, that's why they named her Wanda.
That was good. That was really
She's
good.
continuing on. No wonder she was lost in the Walmart parking lot.
Okay, so this is from Grace. Yeah, Wanda has quite a personality. Oh, say hi to Grace.
Hi, Grace.
Hi, Grace.
Is Grace on there?
She just sent a text watching us do mail call.
Oh.
Yes. There was a Pam at,
I'll see who was here last night and check on the Pam from mail call. Hopefully she filled out
There
a...
was a Pam at mail call?
I didn't watch mail call, so...
I didn't either. Are you finding extra volunteers for the time when the puppies come?
I just put an all call out and
Why is everyone shouting? Are we shouting?
caps.
Oh,
I was going to say, we always shout
Like, we
because
shout,
when you're in
yeah.
this house, if you're
Yeah.
not yelling, you're not doing it right.
That's the thing, if you don't yell in this house with Carlene, and then you find when you go home, you're yelling at your friends and family, and they're like, why are you yelling? Oh, I was just at the farm. Oh, okay.
Yes, I have a couple of folks that have offered to do. What we're going to do is we're going to have our regular overnighters, and then we're going to schedule one volunteer overnighter every night to work with the regular volunteer. And so I've started that, and then we'll put out the day schedule for the daytime puppy sitting like we did the last batch, and we'll have it up on the glass door, and we'll try to cover the shifts. I think last time we did like 8 to 2 and 2 to 7, so, or 2 to 6. We'll figure the timing of it out because you have to have somebody here at mail call. And it's conceivable for Donna to watch the puppies from 7 to 8 in the morning.
Right.
But you have to have somebody here at 8 because she feeds and she
does
takes
feeding
care of all
here
that.
and- yeah.
So, because I know it's difficult to get volunteers here at 7, but the timing of it, we do need folks through mail call. Because you have to have somebody in there dedicated while
Just
mail
watch.
call is going
Yes.
on. It's too much to worry about. But yes, we are taking names and all that.
And there seems to be a lot of volunteers around this summer. I don't know if you guys see them on camera, but they all go back to school.
Yes.
So
Yes, all go back to school. So the availability becomes, initially it becomes a couple of afternoons and the weekend, then it becomes one afternoon, then we don't see them.
right.
I mean, Yeah, everybody's intention is great, but they get busy, and so
Yeah.
we ultimately end up relying on the regulars that have been here through time, and then a few that have collected along the way, you know.
Okay, yeah.
But all the kids and all, they all disappear. Yeah.
Do Laura, Devin, and Connor disappear?
They'll go back to their old schedules.
Oh, just shorter hours.
As far as I know, Devin will keep her Sundays,
Yeah.
Connor will do his Thursdays, and Laura does Tuesdays and Fridays. So, and I know, like, Connor has sports,
Yeah.
so I'm not sure. And I know Laura has
She rides.
horsing, so
Yeah.
horse riding. So, but Devin's pretty consistent with the Sundays.
Yeah.
So, although there are a couple of Sundays in September, I think she needs off. So I've got to start thinking about that. But
Well, hopefully it's not Dog Fest Sunday.
no, I think it's like before and after.
What about Smile? Well, the answer to that. There's no plan for Neil. It's just going to be here with you.
I assume Neil will be in the house for a week or two, like the rest. I mean, that seems to be the going rate.
Yeah.
You know, like just making sure that they're running right and they're physically okay. And like with Kiara, you know, having her in the house was beneficial clearly because she had the UTI.
Yes.
So we
Yeah.
were able to discover her UTI. The others, I think, for the most part, have done well. And I think Vu's flat foot is not flat, as far as I know anymore.
No, she's
So,
doing much better.
Yeah, so she has her ankle or whatever the heck is normal. So, or almost normal or whatever.
Some people don't know who I am.
Oh, Linda.
So-
Linda.
I'm Linda K. I don't post on Explore much. Volunteer. I volunteer on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I was recently laid off, so volunteering Tuesdays and Thursdays. Teresa is here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So Carlene responds to inquiry letters from recipients, so I do those up for her. Different admin things, helping Tina with Dog Fest, and when I find a job, I'm usually here every Saturday with Steve and that great crew doing the inquiry letters. So, and I try to stay off camera as much as possible, but
When Linda started, Linda offered to work Saturdays, AM or PM, 7 to 7, and she took AM. And she puppy sat for Merlot, it was Merlot, right? Who did not like many people. We had people test, and I think about a quarter of the people that came in and tested with her, she actually liked. And Linda sat in the brown chair the whole shift and watched those puppies because they were at the age where, and occasionally you had to step in, and Merlot was okay, but and she would call somebody or let somebody know if something was going on, but
yeah, Merlot, she let me feed her and give her treats and whatever. But my first exposure to Merlot, someone came to the slider door and she just started barking at them, and oh my God, I thought she was a lion.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh my God, I'm going to die right now. That was my first encounter with Merlot. So I guess I've been here maybe a year and a half, almost 2 years.
and you don't have dogs or have had
I've
dogs.
never had a dog
Never
in
had
my
a
life.
dog. That was the other thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is a huge learning experience for me, and I learn something every day that I'm here. Yeah, and I must say, everybody here is great. Say hi to Pam.
Hi.
What time does Neil arrive? Oh, this must be Lo. God, Lo, if we knew, we would tell you.
Emma does not interact with Martha in the dots anymore. She used to interact with Martha on a regular
She's
basis.
little, right?
And she used to interact with the boys when they were small. But when everybody started getting bigger, and my house is small, and they started moving faster, and I just felt that it was, and Emma's 15, So I don't let them hang out with her. They are separated with a gate. Whit lays on one side of the gate and looks at her.
Aw.
But I don't trust them. He might look all cute in theory, but all they need to do is rush her once and accidentally step on her.
Oh, yeah.
And I just don't trust a clumsy accident happening. I just am not with the three of them. But
So, are the dogs that don't make it as service dogs adopted out?
oh, you asking?
I'm asking you, yes.
Yes, they are. There's usually a family and friends scenario. The volunteers usually learn if a dog is going to be placed. They usually find out through Megan, and then if it's all about timing in a lot of instances, and you may be on a list or may have told somebody you want a dog, but someone else may have gotten. If Carlene is here and Megan comes in and says, this one, we're getting rid of this one, and if someone's in here, it could go home with them. But typically, you put your name in with Megan or with me or with Carlene or whatever, and then...
And it has to be someone you know.
Yeah, usually the volunteers start, and then the volunteers will refer. Yeah, I referred Mint to a friend, or a friend for Mint.
Yeah.
So my friend from high school on the Cape has Mint, and she's going to come to Dog Fest.
Oh, she is?
Yeah.
That's great.
And they're kind of private people,
Yeah.
so she's not really participated a whole lot with all of this because she really didn't know about the whole camera thing. She's got her daughter, she's doing her life and whatnot, but absolutely loves Mint, and her dad has Parkinson's. So as it turned out, I don't know if they've even. She's not a service dog, but I'm sure she may be helping them. I'm not sure. That was the thought. Well, she can do a few things, help them brace a little bit here and there.
But just having these Danes in the room with you, I don't know, it just lowers your blood pressure. It's just a calming, so I'm sure she's helping. That's why if it's not bracing or as a service dog, it's just the presence of that dog, of the Dane's personalities are just, they're phenomenal.
So yes, and you they are adopted, homed, but the system is a little bumpy and curvy.
and we're lucky too, because if they're close by, they come and visit.
If you're close by, right? If they're close by, they come and visit, and But again, timing is everything. It's because we had. I'm sure that she doesn't mind me sharing. Cindy, who has Bing, she had wanted a dog. She had come for. She wanted to come up and possibly take home a pet.
Yeah.
At the time, Carlene was thinking keep the whites local, and we also had those 2 dogs in North Carolina somebody might have been giving us. I don't remember.
Oh, that's right. That's when she was
So
looking. Yeah.
Cindy changed her thing. She was going to come up with Pam. They're in Georgia. They were going to drive up, collect those 2 dogs, and then maybe if there was a pet up here, she was going to take it down with her. Well, when she got here, keeping in mind that we were thinking we were going to keep the whites local, and we had Jake, Bruce, and Jonah.
Bruce and Jonah, yeah.
But they were all quirky with other dogs, except for Jake, who couldn't do stairs. So none of them were qualifiers.
Yeah.
So, and at any rate, Cindy was talking to Carlene, told her, I love Bing, blah, blah, blah. They had the conversation, so Bing ended up going with Cindy. But that's how those things happen.
Carlene and Grace are practicing their wait.
Oh, good.
They're just sitting in the terminal waiting.
So long as they're not practicing watching us.
I know, really. Well, we're very cheap. We're inexpensive to hire, so
Yeah.
they're getting,
How did Zeke escape?
Okay, so this is probably fourth or fifth hand, my sharing the story. Carlene, who has Oscar, had Zeke for a couple of days, and she has a grooming place in the city of Lynn. And she was leaving her place, going out the back door with Oscar and Zeke. And I think the animal control officer was nearby, and he had a pit bull with him, and that freaked out Zeke. And I'm not sure how Zeke got loose, but he got loose, and he was running around Lynn. It was really warm out yesterday. He's a black dog, fear of not finding him, fear of overheating. But luckily they found him.
Yeah, 2 hours is quick.
Yeah.
3 hours, they were lucky.
And just
In
the
Lynn,
two
in
of them,
city.
because before, what was it was it Martha
Oh, gosh.
or Lydia? Who?
Lydia, we had dozens out.
Yeah.
Actually, when Martha and when Lydia both got lost, I have to say, both of the towns that they were lost in, those people, just random strangers. When I went to look for Martha in Abington, and I was just driving down, the road really slow, yelling Martha, I had these random people riding by, because they had like neighborhood watch, and they said, we're looking for Martha too. I mean, these towns really were, I couldn't believe how helpful they were.
Yeah.
So.
That's nice to hear, though, that.
Oh, there were walkers and
willing,
bicyclists. We're looking for it too. I was like, is this like am I in a movie? It was just too Pollyanna,
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, really? They're all looking for Martha? Surely this can't be true. But they were all looking for Martha. And so 2 hours, they were lucky.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was missing until today, but yeah, it's so stressful,
Yeah.
And they're so used to the farm.
It's so stressful, I'm sure, for Devin, Carlene, and
Megan.
when they were looking for him. I mean, that's.
Yeah. They were lucky.
Yeah. Yeah, very lucky. Pam, you're funny.
Oh. It's my
New
survival.
Video. Did you see them?
There was one. Who does Merlot live with? Merlot lives with a lady named Lynn. Her kids took Blue a while back. And if I'm not mistaken, that is where Gabby lives.
Yes, I think Gabby Girl is there.
Gabby Girl is there as well. She is set for breeding whenever her turn comes up.
But not right now. 'Cause
No.
we may have 4 litters.
No, she's not in. No, I think it's in a few months. She had a weird heat, so we're waiting.
Handsome. How did Martha get lost?
Martha went home with,
He's a handsome boy.
went home to play with a fellow dog here. A recipient has had a dog and wanted to take a dog home to play, and brought Martha home. And Martha's quirky, She ran right out the door when they opened the front door. The recipient's dad and brother came home, opened the door, and Martha was gone. Yeah, she's very quirky.
That's just.
And she got out at. Yeah, it's stressful for the people that took her home because they're freaked out and panicked. They're afraid to go to bed. They don't want to do anything but find the dog.
Right.
It happened on a Friday night because I was doing the overnight, or the Thursday night I was doing the overnight. So I went down to Abington on Friday morning as soon as I finished my overnight. And she was gone we found her around 10 a.m., I think, 11 a.m., and she had run off around 8 p.m. So she was gone
That's a long time.
for 12 to 15 hours. She was in fine health. I didn't bring her back. The recipient brought her back because they brought her home, I went home because I lived in the South Shore, so I was closer there than to here practically. And then I had texted Megan and said, should I come up and visit Martha? She said yes, come on up. I had just gotten the boys. I was on the list for Martha, but they couldn't decide if she was going to cut it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And so I brought the boys, and Martha, Megan said, they were in the car. She said, are you going to take Martha home for the weekend? And I said, I didn't realize that was an option. She said, yeah, go ahead. The boys were in the car. Martha had always been in the car by herself. Then all of a sudden she gets in the car, and there are these two dogs. And then she went home for the weekend, and I brought her back when I did my overnights. And then Megan said I could take her home. I could keep her.
Did she instantly click with the boys?
She did fine in the car. She didn't have a choice. She got right in. She sat right down. I mean, everybody was smaller then, so they had a lot more room.
Yeah.
And she's done fine with them. She's never once been physically mean to them. I mean, Wit is a pest, and she will bite at him to stay away, but she's never fought with either of the boys. And anytime there's any kind of a scuffle, or it's always the boys. So they just, and that happens, you know. I mean, I always equate it to if I had kids, you know. Wit is probably, I don't know, 8 years old, and Chester's probably like 16. And so I have this 8-year-old, 16-year-old dynamic going on. And then Martha wants to be my equal, you know, but she has a lot of responsibility, you know. So she wants to be my equal, and I treat her like she's my equal until she misbehaves.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, I mean, she's left alone until she misbehaves, pretty much. And occasionally she does, you know. She's the one that was digging the hole today after I filled it in. You know, Wit walked over to the hole. Wit looked at me. I went like that. Wit walked off. Martha walked over to the hole. I said, Martha, don't you dare dig in that hole. And no sooner did I spit those words out did she start digging in the hole. So, you know, in which case I happened to have the hose, shot her in the butt with the hose, and...
That was it?
Yeah.
Oh, Grace. What's going on, Grace? Watching the screens for updates. Oh. Poor Neil. That poor little guy's been traveling forever. Mopping the dots.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, so which crumbs are still in service training and which are pets?
All right, so here we go with the crumbs.
Yeah.
So
Emmett and Zeke are not crumbs. And we have Emmett, Gussie. I'll tell you who's in training. Emmett's in training and Zeke is in training.
Right.
From that batch.
Yep.
Then we have Sarge. We have...
Sarge is with Timothy, though, right?
No, it's a different Sarge. That's a different Sarge. That's
We have 2 Sarges?
Paul's Sarge.
Oh, Paul's Sarge is
Paul's
not...
personal Sarge.
Oh, okay,
Not
okay.
the same Sarge. So we have Sarge.
Yep.
We have Simon. And we have... I'm trying to think who else we have. Simon.
Gromit is dating everybody on the property.
Yeah.
Zeke is training.
Yeah, Zeke's training.
Andrew?
Andrew. Yes, Andrew is training.
Yeah.
And so we have Andrew, Sarge, Simon. I think that might be it. Let me just double check.
We have 2 recent successes, Jess and Ziggy. They're doing phenomenal with their recipients.
I feel like
So they
I'm
just
missing
left.
someone, but Morgan.
Who are we missing?
Morgan is still training. Morgan is training, I think, to pull a wheelchair.
That's right. Morgan's doing the wheelchair thing.
Yes. And as far as I know, well, they posted that Ziggy went out, right?
Yeah.
I've seen that publicly. So
Yes.
Ziggy went out.
Jess.
And Jess went
Yeah.
out. Emily was a pet early on. Very, very crazy, much like Martha, I think. I think she had this, she looked just like her.
Yeah.
And then Luke, Bruce, Jonah, and
Who's Jonah?
Jake. Jonah, the three of them went out. I don't remember off the top of my head. I know that they're either with relatives of somebody
Right,
here or
yeah.
friends of somebody here. But they're all second generation from somebody, second degree of separation from somebody here. So that was, I know that was Emily, Jonah, Jake. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Bailey.
So that's,
Nice sweet girl.
oh, and Victoria is the service dog. So Bruce,
Oh, yeah,
Emily,
Victoria's doing
Luke,
great.
Jake, and Jonah. 5 are
Are the cars
pets.
on that chart?
Yeah. Up on the top.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, this is,
Yeah, Victoria.
yeah,
Victoria's a
Victoria's,
service dog.
yeah.
Victoria's actually on a farm where they have miniature ponies, and autistic children go to that farm. And Victoria is a service dog, and she's just doing phenomenal.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
so
yeah.
nice to
And they
see her.
said that the horses, they're mini horses. Victoria is bigger than one of the horses
Yeah.
or 2 of the horses. I can't even imagine. And she came to visit last week.
Last week she was here,
Yeah. Just to say hello. Her owner now, or her recipient, wanted to bring his daughter down to show her the farm. So they came by the Thursday before I left because I was going to leave. I was leaving after they got here.
Mhm.
So they texted me to tell me they were on the way. Because
Yeah.
I was like, if you're not going to be here at a reasonable time, I'm going to go now.
Yeah.
But if you can be here by 1,
Yeah.
then I'll stay. Because if I don't leave by 1:30 to 2,
You're done.
I have to stay till 7.
Mm.
So
Yeah, I got to see her. She's the sweetest dog.
she is a great dog.
Oh,
She's a great dog. Yeah.
yeah.
Does the crew go check on
What was Bruce's problem?
aggressive towards other dogs? Martha's a pimento. I love that. That's my favorite because Olive is her
Pimentos 'cause
mom.
Olive, yeah.
Yeah.
Because Olive, was Olive the one who had the litter the same time as Pie?
No, it was Merlot and Pie because
Merlot
they
and
were the
Pie,
Merkins.
Okay.
And that was my visit. My first Sunday stew was in the middle of July in 2013.
And why did you come for the first time?
Well, I had watched Chaos's birth in November or October, whenever that was, in the fall, the first one they showed, but I wasn't living in Massachusetts.
Oh.
I moved to Massachusetts in November after the birth, so it must have been October or September. And then I got, the winter, and then I was job hunting, and then I sprained my ankle, and then I was just in a funk, and I was like, I've got to go do something. This is horrible,
Yeah, yeah.
And so I came up on a Sunday, and I have the pictures. So when I came to the gate, I could see Earlene's hair and her head walking down towards the tea tent.
Yeah.
And she had Chaos and Opal. She had like 3. She probably had Bentley.
Yeah.
And, you get to the gate and you feel like, I don't even know. It's just, it's crazy, after you've been watching it. And I wasn't very talkative or anything because I like to see what's going on,
Yeah.
I'm not, I want to see what's going on. And Bud gave me the tour, and he brought me around the farm, and he brought me up here, and we were allowed. It was my first time in the house, and then I didn't come back in the house until September when I did my overnight shift. I stayed down in the barn. I never had any reason,
Yeah.
But through the glass, I was able to see Pie and Merlot, and they had the sides.
Yeah.
And then I started doing Tuesdays, and then I did every Tuesday. Then it was like I'd go home, and because there's a drive.
Yeah.
And then I'd a couple of days, I'm like, oh, I want to go to the farm again, because I was job hunting still.
Mm-hmm.
So I would come up here 3 times a week. Is that Carlene?
No. Service
Call
Dog Project.
from Leahy Hospital.
Leahy Hospital. Did she forget her appointment today? So then I saw them, took the tour, went down, and then I started coming one day, then it was 2 days, and then in September, I was just getting ready to, someone said, Carlene came down in the cart in the afternoon, Tuesday, can you do an overnight? And I'm like, okay, I've been here all day, I don't really know, you guys don't know me, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, I'll call my roommate if she can watch my pets, feed my dog and my cat, I'll do it. So she said yes, and so I stayed overnight, and then Maria texted Thursday or whatever, Wednesday, you did a great job, Carlene wants to know if you can do Friday, whatever, and I'm like, okay. Well, I didn't realize, they pay the overnighters get a stipend. So it's a set amount of money per night, and I had no clue. I thought that everybody was volunteering. So when I came in on Friday and I saw that they had a lot of gaps, I was just getting ready to take a job to deliver pharmaceuticals or something crazy. And because I had a hard time finding a job, because I missed my window because I sprained my ankle. Mm-hmm. So at any rate, I said I'll take all those shifts.
Oh.
So that's how I got
With the 2 litters?
At the time, I think they had already been separated, because by that time it was September.
Yeah.
So I think it was a new litter. I think. Whoever had a litter in September of 2010, let me see, 10, 11. Scarlett and Ben, there was the Crumbs. No, not the Crumbs. It was Tony, Hank, and George, that group.
You're welcome, Allie. It's funny because Bruce said, Pam, I thought you've been there forever. And you are so knowledgeable and so great with the dogs. You think that you've been here forever because you've just got it down. I mean, the volunteers, the dogs, the people, the knowledge.
Oh, well,
I mean, yeah.
That's what sitting and watching does. Because everybody's like, oh, come talk. It's like, I would rather watch how it all works and see where I fit in.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to fit myself into some place I don't fit. Yeah. So, I lucked out, I mean, I've always liked dogs. It's the people that, we have the problems
Exactly.
with. So,
I'd rather be with the dogs sometimes than the people.
And I've been in customer service since I was in my teens. So, always did customer service. So, it just lucked out. And I just try to stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
Like we all do.
My first time here, I came up on a Sunday for stew. I went into the V pen and sat there for 4 hours. I didn't talk to one person. And when I was leaving, Carlene said to me, who are you? Are you a CP? I didn't even know what a CP was. And I'm like, what? So she's like, what's your name? I said, Linda. Oh, okay. Are you coming back? I went, I think so. And I left. I literally didn't speak to anybody. I just stayed in that you know, Raspberry was there, that whole group was there. Who was in heaven?
Martha.
Oh.
Martha's Raspberry's sister.
And someone just said here, the first time you go, it's like going to Disney. Yeah, it is. It's kind of a, it's just a, it's a great feeling. Uh-oh, I'm not singing that song. That was mean. Puppy love, that was mean. Did you ever figure out if it was possible that Colleen's hubby delivered you?
I forgot.
What the hell are you talking about?
Because someone asked me where I was where I'm from, and I said I was born in Lynn, and her husband was working in the hospitals then, and I forgot to find out what hospital. But I know I can ask my cousin, and she'll know in a minute. I can text her later tonight and find out. Yeah, she thinks he might have delivered me. I just don't remember what hospital. Huh? Yeah. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, so I do have to call or text her about that.
I have top questions for you.
Top one, has it been
rough?
Actually, Chester just started getting excited 2 days ago. It can get a little hairy. This morning he loves to throw himself on the ground so that they all jump on top of him. I used to think that they were picking on him. And I would run out and I would tell everybody, get off Chester, and I'd say, oh my God, they're pig piling on Chester again. And I'd go running out, but I watch him. He literally throws himself. So today he threw himself on the ground on his dealio, and I went running through the house like a lunatic. Stop, and brought him in, and then put the cloth around him and rewrapped it so that when he went out to hang out with them, it was covered. Right now, we just need for a little more of this dripping and for it to start hardening up, and then it's almost impossible to keep it covered thoroughly without him shifting or pulling. Or I can get a few hours of bacitration on it and a cover, but it's very clean.
It's very clean. And it really, it looks like it would be painful, but he seems to be
right. He was on pain meds when it started, and then there's a certain point where I stopped, like 2 days ago, when he started getting, because if he wants to play, I don't want him to have pain meds.
Right.
Because I really do want him to have a little bit of pain. I don't want it to be excruciating, but I want him to think, oh, maybe I don't want to do that, So he was taking meds until 2 days ago. And he's still on antibiotics.
And his nose is right in the nursery cam. So if any of you are looking right now, you are looking at his nose.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, swear bear. Did one of us swear?
Probably me.
It could have been a possibility. Flight is taken off from Manchester. I think Neil and Carlene are going to sleep in Grace's lap on the way home.
Probably.
Do you think his fur will grow back?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going to happen. I know when Martha had those couple of bites on her neck, when the hair grew back, it grew back white. So she has white blotches. So I don't know if it's going to just be a scab, if it's going to grow back, if it's going to be gray, if it's going to be white, or I don't know. That was one of my things. I'm like, oh, great. Chester's going to have a white square in the middle of his gray dot. That is what I said the other day. Oh, great. Now we're going to be the square dots.
Square dots. Oh. Hi, Jerry. Glad she's doing phenomenal. And I was talking to Donna today about Viv, and she can finally talk about her without crying. So she's very happy that she's doing well, and as we all are. There's Jerry. She's posting those pictures.
She's like a riot. Viv is like a riot. She has no fear. I don't care how many times Bailey tried to tell her she didn't want her in her face space. She so wanted to say hello. She kept trying and trying and trying. She's a little bit relentless there.
Yeah. Do they need giant? Where did I see that?
It said something about a tray. We haven't tried a tray.
Fiddle pads with trays,
Yeah, like I think they say if they go in it and then you have the peas all in the tray.
like a kitty litter box.
Yeah, I saw something like that somewhere, but I'm not sure.
So Palm Mom and her friend Karen, are you coming back for Dog Fest? I remember you guys in the V Pen. I think I actually took some pictures for you.
All right, the plane's halfway to Boston.
That's good. I think we're going to turn the camera on the door, and whoever can.
Okay, yeah, I
Wait it
think
out.
that's good. We did an hour, right?
We do an hour. We're
Yeah,
good.
it's 6 o'clock. So I
Yeah.
think we'll just put the camera up, and if we get notice and the okay, I'll turn the microphone back on when they come in, or maybe a few minutes after they come in. Thank you for letting us entertain you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, actually, CPs, everybody, for all you do for SDP. It truly is appreciated. And everybody needs to come to Dog Fest.
Oh yeah, we have a good. Well, I don't know. I know that the volunteer aspect of it, we're going to have at least 60 to 70 volunteers coming at some capacity over the weekend.
That's great.
Yeah, and I don't know
Great.
how many attendees for Dog Fest, but it's going to be a full house. All right, so the camera's going up a little bit and the mic's going off. Thank you.